let's see here. Wings in water. A huge flat creature leaps out of the sea. It skims over the waves and flips backward with a splash. Could this be a fish? Yeah, it is a manta ray. Wait, stop. Can you guys hear that? You know, I didn't hear it either. What I was listening for was my thoughts as I was reading this article. Because really, that's the only way I can show that I'm really understanding what I read, not just that I can read the words themselves. So a good reader, as we know from our cafe lessons, has good comprehension. And comprehension means how well you're understanding what you read. There's a really easy way for you to keep track of your thoughts as you read a book, a chapter, an article, a magazine, any kind of reading that you might do. For my purposes, I'm going to use the program Stickies on my computer. This article is called Wings in Water. A huge flat creature leaps out of the sea. It skims over the waves and flips backward with a splash. Could this be a fish? Yes, it is a manta ray. I'm going to pause right there already to record some thinking that I was doing just in that short paragraph. When I saw the picture of the manta ray, it reminded me of a vacation that I took when I was 8. And we went to SeaWorld, and I got to pet a manta ray. When I read that first paragraph, the first part talked about him leaping out of the water. And my definition of leaps would be someone jumping with 2 feet. Now that's not what the manta ray did. It sounds more like it's going to leap as it's swimming. And then that raises a question for me of, how does it do that? How does it leap out of the water? There also was a question that the text asked right there that was, could this be a fish? Yes, it is a manta ray. Well, how is this a fish? It doesn't look like any kind of fish I've ever caught on a fishing trip. Now that I have some ideas recorded, I'm going to go back to my article. These diamond-shaped giants live in warm oceans. They can be 22 feet wide and weigh as much as a small car, up to 3,000 pounds. That is a big manta ray. I'm going to add some more details here to my thoughts. So before it said that they were huge, now we know they're how huge. We found that they were 22 feet wide and can weigh up to 3,000 pounds. That is a really, really large creature. It also said that they live in warm oceans. What oceans are warm? I've only been to the ocean a couple of times, but the ocean water that I've felt has always been really, really cold. Speed swimmer. Their skeletons are made of soft bone called cartilage. This flexible cartilage skeleton helps to make the manta a graceful, powerful swimmer. Now that makes me start thinking about the word cartilage. And I've heard that word before in class defining what our human noses are made of. And it's also saying that the skeleton of the manta is also in cartilage. And it used the word flexible. If I try to touch my nose, I can make it bend back and forth, just like the manta ray can use its skeleton to help it swim. Now back to the article. Slowly flapping their 2 large fins like wings, mantas fly under the water. All right, so I'm a little confused here. Before it said that they leap out of the water. Now they're telling me they fly under the water? That's not the way I've ever seen those words used. To me, the word leap is similar to the word jump. So I'm wondering, how can a manta jump? And the word fly, to me, that means what a bird does with its wings, or what we do on airplanes. But this isn't a bird, and it's not an airplane. So I'm wondering, how does it fly? What did they mean by that question? That's why I wrote it on my post-it note. Eating on the run. Mantas eat tiny plants and animals called plankton. The manta uses fins on the sides of its mouth to guide plankton into its big mouth while it swims. Gotta have a new note to record some more thinking that I have. I want to know what plankton... Oops, I spelled that wrong. What do they look like? How big are they? If this creature is going to get up to 3,000 pounds, I would think they'd be a rather large animal. But we'll find out more, hopefully, later on in the article. It said they were tiny, but, you know, how tiny are we talking here? It also seems like it doesn't have any other way to catch any food except just by swimming into it and using its fins on the side of its mouth. So I'm going to make sure I remember that detail, that fins guide the food into the ray's mouth. Then one question I have, do they have teeth? It doesn't look like it from the picture, but I'm going to have to find out more to answer that question. Friendly giants. Mantas may be big, but they are gentle. They are curious. They will sometimes swim near human divers and even let the divers reach out and touch them. A manta's tail looks scary, but it is harmless, and it will not sting a diver. Okay, so now I'm a little confused even more. This says that they are gentle creatures. I'm wondering if I'm confusing a stingray and a manta ray. And I'm wondering if they're the same thing. Because I've heard that stingrays, because of their name obviously, will sting you. But here it says that they won't do that and that the tail is harmless. That's something I did not know. Big babies. When a female manta mates, her baby grows in an egg that hatches inside her. Later, the baby is born, rolled up in its fins. It uncurls these fins, then swims away. At first, the baby stays close to the shore, but soon it will fly through the ocean and leap and somersault above the waves. So they have eggs that they keep inside of them, which hatch, and the baby ray comes out. So the egg completely hatches inside the mother. That's pretty unique. I've never seen any other animal that does things that way. We talked about how that baby stays close to shore. I'm wondering why it would do that. I would think it would be more dangerous for it to stay close to the shore. I'm wondering if it has something to do with what it eats or how well it swims. But I'm really not sure. It just tells me that it's going to stay close to the shore. and then soon it will fly through the ocean and leap and somersault above the waves. I was able to track my thinking using my sticky notes on my screen. I was able to track my thinking while I was reading this nonfiction article. It really will help me remember what I read about, and it helps me keep track of any questions that I might have that didn't get answered in my story. It could also help me identify vocabulary words that I don't know the meaning of, so that I can look them up in a different source later. So this was monitoring your comprehension using the Tracking Your Thinking.